Welcome to the podcast about venture capital, where investors and founders alike can learn how VCs make decisions and reach conviction. Your host is Nick Moran, and this is The Full Ratchet.
Welcome back to The Full Ratchet. On today's special segment of Investor Stories, the investors address trends, sectors, and markets that they think are positioned for outsized returns in the future. This is the segment called What's Next? On today's special segment, we have Czech Warner of Ada Ventures. Czech, can you talk about sectors or trends that you're bullish on?
Yeah, so healthcare, I'm massively bullish on. I think we are only at the very, very start of technology and healthcare and technology improving healthcare. So getting much better at predictive healthcare, at prevention, at understanding actually what's going on in our bodies with computer vision, with CRISPR, with all these amazing new kind of technologies that we're only just starting to understand. And I think as consumers, we're going to be spending 10 times more on our health over the next 10 years, especially as we get older than we do today. So that's a huge theme that I'm excited about. I'm also excited about childcare. I think childcare at the moment is broken. It doesn't work for most parents, and there's so much more to be done on the tech side to create better solutions for parents to look after their kids. I'm not talking about robots here. I'm more talking about optimizing the entire process. So those are two that I'm very bullish on.
On today's special segment, we have Henrique Dubugras of Brex. Henrique, can you talk about sectors or trends that you're bullish on?
Well, to not be cliche, extremely bullish on fintech. Yeah. I think that, especially with this COVID situation, I think everyone is realizing that you don't need a branch to bank. And I think that there's going to be so many banks that were just lost in translations. Like, okay, like how do I deal with not having a branch? And that's going to create space for so many fintechs to take their place.
What about non-fintech? That's interesting.
Not fintech. I'm recently pretty interested in the gaming industry.
Good. Are you doing any angel investing or advising of early stage companies?
Not as much. I think I usually advise and help people that I know independently if I invest in them or not, and people that I don't I don't want to spend time with for any reason. I don't invest just because of the financial return. So it's not a focus now with Brex being the kind of core thing I spend time on.
On today's special segment, we have James Currier of NFX. James, can you talk about sectors or trends that you're bullish on?
B2B marketplaces, we're doing more and more there. We think that there's been a turnover in who owns these businesses. They're much more digitally literate. They're much more eager to have the same good software experience they have in their consumer lives, to have that in their business lives. And so B2B marketplaces of all types, whether it's transportation or used parts or raw materials, we're looking at a lot of those. We are getting more and more into computational biology. We think that the trends in that sector from a base technological perspective are undeniable in terms of not only do we have Moore's law taking place in this computational biology area 3 times in terms of the price of sequencing, the price of experimenting, the costs of things are going down by orders of magnitude very quickly in 3 different areas within computational biology. And so that's a very powerful trend. The challenge there, of course, is that you need a lot of years to understand what's going on. So you can't just jump into it. It's not like understanding a consumer application like ClassPass or Patreon or something where you can look at it and say, oh, that makes sense. I'm a consumer. I understand that. So there's a lot of science involved, but it's still an area we're very excited about. We are very into games, video games and video game platforms and things interrelated to esports and whatnot, where we do a lot of investing there. And real estate tech. We think that there was a good wave in the 2000 and early 2010s, and we think there's been a little bit of a pause, and now we're going to get into another big change over with SaaS and market networks and marketplaces around real estate. So we're spending a lot of time in the real estate tech.
On today's special segment, we have Lanham Napier of Bill Group. Lanham, can you talk about sectors or trends that you're bullish on?
Yeah, there are some. We are going through this world, and there are too many buzzwords in it, but in general, what I would say is integrated financial institutions are getting unbundled. So like in my lifetime, it's kind of been the same old big financial juggernauts ruling the world. Mm-hmm. And I think through the use of, modern technology, fintech's a real thing. And, these profit pools inside these ginormous institutions are getting unbundled. So I'm pretty darn fired up about that. That makes me happy. Okay. Another place I'm pretty happy about is open source ecosystems. Okay. And the ability for, the crowd to innovate in a cool manner and then create an economic system around it.
Yep.
I think that stuff is super cool. All right. Then, another area where I've got, a lot of energy around is this idea of getting sort of physical flows to move in a correlated fashion with digital flows. Okay. So you think about industrial applications and applying, what we call modern business models and tech into industrial applications. That hadn't really happened yet.
Sure.
There's still plenty of heavy industry stuff in our world that's just isolated, from this movement. And so I think, and to some extent, COVID has accelerated this a bunch. All right. So we're very interested in that. We spend a lot of time in different verticals where we can go to work building modern business model stuff. And for us, that modern business model just equals SaaS plus marketplace, powered by really cool data. So we like to do that. So we feel like in a lot of categories, it's now SaaS on SaaS, where it used to be SaaS versus on-prem.
Yep.
So SaaS on-prem, that was mammal versus reptile. SaaS competing with SaaS, that's mammal versus mammal. So this is a different thing. Okay. So, figuring out how to create business model advantage as a SaaS company is interesting to us. So those are a few places, we hang out and do a lot of work.
That will conclude this installment of Investor Stories. If you're enjoying the program and would like to see it continue, take a moment and leave a 5-star review in iTunes. Also, if you'd like updates on new content from TFR, as well as the top 10 VC articles every week, go to fullratchet.net and sign up for the newsletter. Okay, that will wrap things up for today. Until next time, over-prepare, choose carefully, and invest confidently. Thanks for joining me.